lot of things I didn't know. Like, and you said it wasn't about the money. I only knew it was about the money because I had twin daughters. I had to get 2 Pampers, 2 Similacs, 2 whatever, and figure that out. But then today they asked me about, Dad, what's up with the assets? And so I would kind of direct that question over to you. And what do you feel like? What do you feel as far as education in the schools? Because you're at it every day. You're a general contractor developer.
Mm-hmm. So I would say, as far as assets go, as far as going into the community, I've been doing credit. I was doing credit even before I got into real estate. Now that I'm into real estate, I try to teach people about buying and holding, about having good credit, how you can start doing things without even having the money, because I always thought you had to have money in order to be able to do certain things, in order to build these assets up. But what we don't know, I didn't know what a hard money loan was for the longest time. And if you don't know what a hard money loan is, that's a bank that'll give you money based off of the actual project and not based off of your finances. So it's ways for you to get out here and get money, and a lot of private money out here too that just have money sitting, that know that they can make more money lending it over to you than having it sitting in the bank. Private money. It's people that's looking for that, to be able to do that. And then they just put a lien on the property, and then when you go to the closing table and sell the property, they get their money and you get your money.
Even with the lien.
Even with the lien.
And it's easier to get it from an institution most of the
There
time.
you go.
Exactly. So that makes sense. So going to you.
That's collateral. So you got credit, collateral, and cash. So the 3 C's. And you'll get loans based on any of those 3 C's.
Yep.
Credit is one of the ways you can create wealth out of thin air.
I add color to
Insurance is another. There's a few ways you can make. I'm sorry?
I'm going to make it 4 C's. I'll add color to that too.
Well, that's why we set up trust.
Yeah.
That makes you blind. I mean, you're invisible in that light.
To a certain degree.
You're invisible in that light. You got common law, you got statutory trust, non-statutory trust.
But that's still built off of you and your assets and what you raise.
No, sir. The trust owns the
Even
assets.
your insurance?
The trust owns the assets.
No, I know, we'll talk about it offline.
Yeah,
I
so
understand exactly what you're saying.
No, let's talk about it now.
That's
That's what we want to talk about.
I can't hide yourself in a trust.
If I have nothing, I can't hide it.
What you mean if you don't have anything? What do you mean by that? Well, you can't have a trust.
We're talking about the masses of people, right? Not everybody has access to capital, credit, and whatever the 3 C's.
Well, you got to get the credit. Everybody has access to that. Just got to.
But what I'm saying, us as black people, it doesn't matter how much money you have. For instance, one of the for the distribution company, we had $15 million in the bank. The same institution that's holding this cash would not give us any additional money.
Now, had you had it in a trust,
but it wasn't my personal money to put into a trust.
Whose personal money? Whoever personal money it was that you was leveraging.
It's our company money.
The company should have been leveraged. Throw it in a trust. That's the private side. You could have got a loan based on that.
Just like the insurance and everything else that's in the trust.
We don't have a lot of time in here.
That's
but
what
that's
we're
why.
talking about.
That's how Michael Jackson bought the Beatles catalog through a trust.
All I'm saying.
Okay, he hit himself. You have to hide yourself sometimes.
Well, he had a lawyer that came in and did
well, he's a proxy.
They didn't know who it was.
The attorney was a proxy, but they didn't know that they were selling the catalog to Michael Jackson.
Because it was
trust.
a lawyer.
But we're not privy to that information. It's only the 1%ers.
Well, y'all talking about another level. It's level to this thing.
So we gotta hide ourselves, though.
That's what we need. We need people like you that can go teach that.
Well, that's what we.
But I like the hook. Well, see, this is why we're at the round table.
Yes,
right?
it's level.
Because listen, nobody's wrong.
Right.
Well,
right.
Nobody is wrong at the round table. What it is a collective. I can't make a cake without the eggs. I can't make, you know what I'm saying? So,
and it's about perspective,
right?
Knowledge. He knows something different than what he knows. He knows something different than what I know.
Right.
I got different.
And you got to work with what you got to get you to that level. You might have just 2 rocks, but you got to make the rocks out of something to get to the level to understand about the credit.
They didn't teach me taxes in school.
Exactly, none of that.
They didn't teach me how to be an entrepreneur in school. They taught me to be a worker.
Yes.
They teach our kids how to.
And that's what school is.
You know what I'm saying?
A corporation is a public entity, just like you and me. We're public. So anybody can pierce that veil. The trust veil is different. As long as you just show the declaration of the trust, set up a bank account, a non-interest bearing banking account. That way it stays private. The trust can buy assets. Okay, so it's just how you stack the cards up.
All right, so for this,